Executive editor-in-chief of a New York book publishing firm, Margaret Tate is a Canadian. She is despised by her staff because of her aggressive nature. Margaret is informed by Chairman Bergen, her supervisor, that her application for a visa renewal has been rejected because of a violation of the terms of her visa and that she would be deported back to Canada. She blackmails her long-suffering personal assistant Andrew Paxton into marrying her in order to obtain a green card, since she doesn't want to leave her job or her life in New York. She warns Andrew that his efforts as her assistant would be wasted if she were deported, which would hinder his aspiration to become an editor. Gilbertson, a U.S. immigration agent, alerts them that he believes they are using fraud to keep Margaret from being deported. Gilbertson informs them that they will be questioned independently about one another. If their responses do not line up, Andrew will be found guilty of a crime punishable by a $250,000 fine and 5 years in jail, and Margaret will be permanently deported to Canada. After they are married, Andrew asks that Margaret make him an editor and release the book he has been urging her to read. Margaret is compelled to concur. Margaret and Andrew go to Alaska for Andrew's grandmother's birthday to try and convince his family he is engaged. The next day, Grace and Annie take Margaret to a local bar as part of her bachelorette party to watch a strip dance by locally famous but over-the-hill exotic dancer Ramon. Stepping away from the show, Margaret learns from Gertrude, Andrew's ex-girlfriend, whom she met at Andrew's party, that Andrew wanted to become an editor and make his own life, and that Andrew had proposed to Gertrude. However, Gertrude refused because she did not want to leave Sitka for New York. Margaret also learns of the conflict between Andrew and Joe. That night, Margaret asks Andrew about his relationship with his father, but Andrew refuses to talk. Instead, Margaret opens up to him. The couple is persuaded by the family to be married the very next day. Margaret is greatly moved when she discovers how close and genuine Andrew's family is, especially in light of the deceit. She boards Andrew's boat and takes out after him. She acknowledges that she had forgotten what it was like to have a family because she had been alone since the death of her parents when she was 16. She releases her grip on the helm, falling to the back of the boat. Margaret exits the boat as Andrew makes a sudden maneuver to avoid striking a buoy. Andrew quickly turns the boat around and saves her because she cannot swim. Meanwhile, suspicious Gilbertson has turned up in Sitka ready to charge Andrew with fraud. At the wedding, Margaret stops the ceremony by confessing the truth to the guests and Gilbertson, who informs her she has 24 hours to leave for Canada. Margaret returns to the Paxton home. She puts the draft of Andrew's book in their room with a note of thanks and a promise to publish it before he gets there. Gertrude offers comfort to Andrew by asking whether he plans to pursue her. Annie suddenly exhibits signs of a heart attack. She persuades them to make up before she dies. She admits to fabricating the heart attack to draw their attention once she manages to get things going once again and instructs the pilot to proceed to the airport in the hopes of catching up to Margaret. How much he truly cares for her. Andrew comes to New York and confesses his love to Margaret in front of the entire office staff once his parents discover how much he truly cares for her. After kissing, they go tell Gilbertson that they are once more engaged, but this time it's for real.